We get back home, I went straight upstairs. Didn't even bother getting out of my suit. Just went up and started lying on my bed, staring up at the ceiling. Today went surprisingly better than I'd expected. I didn't have a complete meltdown. I guess that's a plus. My brain keeps replaying the events from the past few weeks. Monika killed herself. I had a panic attack in the middle of the school. Got a psychiatric referral. Hermie came down to let me know about the funeral. I looked over to my cabinet, my eyes focusing on the first drawer. I know what's in there, and I suppressed the urge. I can't. Not now. I breathe in, and I breathe out. I breathe in, and I breathe out again. Fuck. I'm a wreck. I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. I bring it up to my face and turn on the screen. There she is. That's the last photo I ever took with her. Just us. Together under the setting sun. That's how I want to remember her. My gorgeous, loving Monika. My mind keeps forcing me to remember those last 2 days. First being tormented at school for things that weren't anyone else's business. And then, she was gone. She was taken from me. And there wasn't anything I could have done. I feel my tears coming back. Not again. I drop my phone on my bed and cover my face to muffle my sobs. Why, Monika? Why does it hurt every time I think of you? After a few minutes, I remove my hand and stare blankly at the ceiling with my glassy eyes. I'm fine. I'm okay living like this. Time heals all wounds. That's what they say, right? I then hear a knock on my door, causing me to frantically sit up. It's open! The door opens and Mom walks in. Hey, how are you holding up? She looks at me with worry very present in her gaze. I'm managing. But I'll be okay. Mom paces around my room for a bit. Are you alright? She sighs. It's the office. They're wanting me in tonight. And by the sounds of it, they're wanting me on another business trip. Oh. Couldn't they get anyone else? I did check. By the sounds of it, everyone else is either sick, off on leave, or busy. I even tried to get it rearranged, but no. Toyama's being insistent. Up to the point that it's pissing me off. It's on an exhausted sigh. On the bright side, she won't have to put up with you. I'm sorry for the short notice. Mom, you don't have to apologize. You can't help it. I should be able to manage on my own for a few days. That's bullshit and you know it, Zero. You promise? I quickly nod. Yeah, I'll be fine. It should only be a couple of days, right? I'd be leaving tomorrow, and I won't be back until Wednesday evening. You sure you'll be able to manage that long? Yes, I'm sure. Feeling a little unsure about my response, Mom goes to leave my room. Just let me know if you need anything, alright? I smile at her. Will do. She leaves and I go back to laying on my bed. I take slow, shaky breaths. I'm tired out. Didn't get much sleep last night. Maybe I should get some rest now. It's probably for the best. I don't really have much to do tomorrow anyway. I just curl up on my bed and let exhaustion take over. If I was her, I would tell them to fuck off and take care of my son. I mean, on one hand, that's something you probably could do if you had, like, you know, someone else who had a job. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, I can't really just throw away your job.
Like, she doesn't want to leave, obviously, but somebody has to be bringing in money. Like, sure, if the dad was still there and he still had a job, then she could probably definitely, get away with doing something like that because they would at least still have some sort of income coming in. But it's like she's the only source of income. Guys are safe from emote only. Wait, someone put an emote only? What? Chad, gotta tell me the truth. Did someone redeem emote only? Yeah, I did. Oh, who snitched? Oh, you told me the truth. Thank you. There you go. Alright, we get another poem. The Dream. Last night, I had a dream about you. In this dream, I was standing right beside you, and it looked how I remembered us last. A memory of the past. Just us two in a crowded room. Despite the crowd seeming busy, I could only hear you. The one who would make my heart swoon. But then everything began to dissolve into nothingness. The crowd, the room, and then you. Before I knew it, this dream was all gone. Aw. I like these little poem intermissions. They add to the tone. Oh, I like these
The
little.
entire thing is making me depressed, bro.
What do you mean?
Making me depressed.
You mean we vibing?
Ugh, I'm not.
Now he's alone. His mom left. Don't do it,
Great,
MC.
So he's gonna kill himself now. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Thank you for the 1 bits, everybody. Who's trying using it to talk. Zero, add some happy music to cheer Monika up.
It's not the time.
Sorry. Probably cheered somebody up. Now is not the time. Sorry.
Better. Let me wallow.
I groggily wake up. I didn't sleep too much, but I got a little bit more sleep than I did on Saturday. At this point, any sleep is sleep. I check my phone. That was a weird line. At this point, any sleep is sleep.
I know what he means.
It was just funny sounding.
Yeah.
I check my phone. Sunday, 6:32 a.m. I sit up and run my hands over my face. I just stay there for a moment, my eyes slowly readjusting to my surroundings as I look around. After a few minutes, I get up and make my way to the bathroom. I take off my dirty pajamas and let them slump onto the ground. Once I step into the shower, I turn it on without a care as to either how warm or how cold it is. As I feel the lukewarm water rain down, I just allow it to soak into my skin. It's actually pretty soothing, but only for the body. The thoughts from yesterday continue to circulate through my mind. Thankfully, I'm able to keep more of the depressing thoughts from fully taking control of me. Some come through, but I'm able to keep them most at bay. I sigh as I look down at the marks on my left wrist. I'm fine. They'll heal. I'll heal. I keep telling myself that as I clean myself. When I'm finished up, I turn the shower off. I then fetch a towel, dry myself, then wrap it around me and head back to my room. Switching the light on, I head towards my closet. I open it and grab some loose-fitting clothes. I quickly throw them on and shut the door. I then grab my towel and go to leave my room. But I don't leave straight away. I grip my towel firmly. My eyes drift towards my closet, more so the handle. I focus on it for a good minute or two. My eyes then look back to my towel. My heart starts to race as my body starts to act on its own accord. I rush towards my closet and start to tie my towel around the handle. My hands are clammy, but I'm able to tie it into a makeshift noose. I then grip the towel as firmly as possible. Hurry up. Get it over with. I just stand there, shaking in place. Quit stalling. You said you would do anything to see her again, didn't you? I can't. I release my grip and fall back to the floor, frozen in both shock and disgust. I just stare at the towel hanging from the handle. No. I wasn't just about to do it. Surely not. I shake as I stand back up. Not long after I do, though, I rush to the bathroom just in time to vomit. The stench of bile fills up the bathroom. God, just what the hell is wrong with me? How can I be that desperate? I start to cry loudly into the ceramic bowl, my sobs reverberating around the room. It hurts to breathe after a while. I eventually sit against the bathroom cabinet. Well, less sitting, more slumping against it. My breath slowly starts to settle. I stand up and immediately head downstairs. Don't dare look back into my bedroom. Not now, anyway. I will say this, now that I've been I don't know, this was something I weirdly thought about. But, like, couldn't our mom, like, tell Natsuki's dad or Natsuki to stay with us while she's gone until Wednesday? I just, like, realized that.
Yeah, maybe.
Couldn't they, like, they've clearly stayed with us before, so I was like, couldn't they just stay with us? Like, I feel like she could have. Yeah, I know some people are saying Sayori could, but it's like I was just saying Natsuki and her dad because our mom knows them, you know. So it's like obviously she probably knows Sayori too, but yeah, it's just like it just feels like something where it's like she probably could have like asked them to stay here until Wednesday. I mean, they randomly stayed here for that like almost entire week that one time for no reason at all. So I'm like, she could have easily asked him to fucking be there. Like, I don't know. Yeah, leaving him alone just seems like a bad move. Like, yeah, like, I understand she had to go to work. That's understandable. Because, like, you know, she tried to get out of it. But I understand that. I feel like she could have definitely, like, contacted somebody to be around him. Like, she definitely should not have taken his word for it. I don't know. I feel like that was a little bit of a false move on the mom's part. I don't know how I feel about the hanging scene, the attempted suicide scene. It kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere. I don't know. Like, I open it up, grab some loose fitting clothes, quickly throw them, shut the door. I then grab my towel and go to leave my room, but I don't leave straight away. I grip my towel firmly, my eyes dart to more, so I focus on it for a good minute. Okay, no, that kind of worked, I guess. Because he's kind of sitting there for a bit. Yeah, it was an impulse. It works, I guess, yeah. It worked pretty well. Because that is kind of how... At least I'm pretty sure that's how the mindset kind of goes for a lot of people when it comes to something like this. It's more of a, they don't have time to think about it, and they just do it. So him...
most people who want to kill themselves don't want to think about killing themselves.
Yeah, that's why his mind was like saying like, hurry up, get it over with, you know? So it's like, but since he took...
before you start thinking about it.
Yeah, since he took so long, he started having second chance. He started having like, you know, doubts, and that was what stopped him. It was pretty good. Yeah, it's like he thought about it, which stopped him. Pretty good.
Most people just want to mindlessly do it so they can just get done.
Natsuki and her dad are trying to show that they care. Like that's all. Like yeah, that's all. Like I don't know. It feels a little weird. Like it feels weird that she didn't think about like leaving your son like this. I don't know. Come on, not dumb parents in anime. I end up spending the next several hours watching TV, attempting to write and snacking on anything I can find. Just anything that could take my mind off of everything. I'm successful for the most part, being able to push my little incident from this morning to the back of my mind. However, it still manages to make me shiver. What if I actually did go through with it? And why did it feel like a part of me wanted to go through with it? Monika wouldn't want that. I get up from the sofa and head towards the kitchen to make something to eat. Before I get there, though, there's a knock at the front door. I unlock the door and open it. It's Sayori. She looks like she didn't sleep too well. I let her in. Sayori? Didn't expect to see you today. I just thought I'd come over to check on you. Like, after yesterday, I just got worried about how you were coping. As I probably should have guessed. Probably doesn't help that I didn't answer any of her texts last night. Probably wouldn't be a great idea to mention this morning either. God only knows how she'd get. I've been okay. I was a little sick this morning, but besides that, I've been alright. Sayori looks away. I can't tell whether or not she bought what I said. Can I check your wrists? I shuffle uncomfortably in place, sliding my hands in my pocket. Sayori, I'm fine. Promise. Zero, please. Sayori, I've not cut since Friday. I'm fine. Sayori's persistence is kind of starting to irritate me. She's been like this since my panic attack and when she first found out about me doing it. She's been checking every time she's seen me.
You definitely should. This is not the right approach for dealing with someone who's cutting. She's doing the completely wrong thing here. Because it can be irritating.
It's definitely odd too because Sayori has depression. Apparently,
she's like, "Let me see your wrist."
Which is
you don't do that.
Which is something that I was actually about to mention at one point. It kind of feels like the mod sometimes forgot that Sayori has depression because they mention it in the beginning and they never bring it up ever again. When I feel like it could have definitely helped a lot of scenes, like her talking, like her understanding what Monika can she never, like, there wasn't really I think there was maybe the trust reverse scene where it worked, where she kind of tried to show that she understands what Monika's going through, but I still don't even think she said it in that. Like, I could be remembering wrong, but I don't think that was ever brought up. And even now, her not knowing how to deal with MC feels a little odd too, because it's like, well, Sayori, did you want people to pester you like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they mentioned she has depression in the beginning, and then it just, like, goes away. Like, if you want to say that her depression isn't as bad anymore or something, then sure, but it's just not even mentioned anymore.
Like, if someone is cutting, and you know that they're cutting, then you don't constantly want to be like, let me see if you cut every single day.
And it's like,
all you can really do is just be there for them.
And I'm not gonna fault.
Just express.
I'm not gonna fault.
No, I'm not faulting the mod for it.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna fault the average character for doing something like that. But my problem is the fact that Sayori's the one doing that. I think is my issue. Yeah. Like, if someone like Natsuki was doing it, then I'd understand, because Natsuki doesn't have any experience with that. It feels weird that the person who is probably the closest to experiencing something like this before isn't doing it right. Yeah. It feels a little odd that Sayori doesn't know how he, like, has no relation to how he feels right now.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird. I'm only trying to look out for you, Zero. I sigh. We're not gonna get anywhere like this. Rather reluctantly, I take my hands out of my pockets and present my arms to Sayori. See? Just the same ones from Friday. Part of me was tempted to do it yesterday, I'll admit, but I didn't. That's a good start. I hope so. Considering this morning, I doubt it's going to stay that way. So, I was gonna do myself something to eat. You want me to... Okay, I forgot this was made by the UK, because it said, you want me to do you anything? And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I'm like, oh my god, I forgot. This is how British people talk. Britain, be normal. Britain, talk normal challenge.
Impossible.
You want me to get you anything?
I mean, if you're offering, I can't really say no.
Pair of us then walk over to the kitchen. I don't like how MC's coping mechanism is specifically cutting, because it feels like the mod is setting up an MC Yuri scene / relationship. It probably isn't, but that's the gut feeling I get from it. That's fair, Thickster.
It just reminds you of that. Yeah.
Thickster's got fucking PTSD. He's still afraid of the mod, like, trying to push MC and Yuri. He's just like, oh god, cutting is what Yuri likes. No. Cutting! Oh god! He's gonna be like, I've been reading the Portrait of Markov recently. No! The Yuri fans are like, we wanted MC to get with Yuri, but not like this! we wanted him to end up with Yuri, but not through these circumstances. That's the pity win. When you can't eat Legos, but you can eat British food. What does that mean?
What?
Oh, I know what that means. Oh, damn, you say fucking British food's worse than... I mean, I have seen this crap they eat for breakfast. I'm sorry, British people. You have to explain.
They eat like beans on toast?
I don't know. Yeah, they gotta explain what beans on toast is. I'm sorry. Any British viewers, I apologize, but y'all got some explaining to do.
I just don't understand y'all.
Yeah. Sari takes a seat at the table while I go to the fridge to pick something out. Bacon should do nicely. Taking the packet from the fridge with me, and then go over to the stove. I grab a clean pan, put some oil in it, set it on the hob, turn the gas on, and light it carefully. What the hell's the hob? Okay, whatever. Then, after the pan's heated up for a bit, I finally put some bacon on. While it's cooking, Sari speaks up.
Where's your mom? I thought she'd be up by now.
She's on a business trip in Tokyo. I've got the place to myself for a few days.
Oh.
She's clearly concerned. And she has every reason to be. Sayori, what is it?
Nothing.
Sayori, you can tell me if something's bothering you.
It's just that with everything that's happened lately, I just want to know you're going to be safe.
I give a heavy sigh. Sayo, I'll be fine. It's not like I'm going to set myself and the house on fire now, is it? Sayori doesn't seem to take my comment lightly.
Please don't joke like that.
How was I joking? More focus on the bacon, eventually finishing enough for both myself and Sayori. I ordered some bread, assembled the sandwiches, and then hand a pair to Sayori. As pair of us start to eat, remain in tense silence. Alright, we can't be having MC making these, like, burning jokes. Me like, how was I joking? Like, now he's getting too edgy. Man's getting too edgy. Like alright, MC. Now you're starting to get starting to get corny depressed.
Corny depression.
I'll just say, like, now he's getting a little too, he's getting, like, he's just getting edgy. A reference coming up? That was a reference? To him burning his house down? What? It's a what? That's even worse. Why are we referencing things? The Redux alternate ending? Oh, there's an alternate ending to Redux where she burns the house down. Okay. I'm glad I didn't play that alternate ending. What? Miwa Natsuki leaves the stove on. Oh no! Okay, well now that I know it's a reference, why is there a Redux reference right now? Even then, I still stand by my opinion. He should have been like, how was I joking? I want to burn myself. Like, okay, Shadow, calm down. As the pair of us start to eat, we remain in a tense silence. Sure, Saren had slight rifts in the past, but the silence is unlike any other we've had before. I sigh. Sure, I may be annoyed with how persistent she's being with all this, but I know she cares. And, to some degree, that hurts just as much. They all care, and I'm hurting them. And all I can do is make excuse after fucking excuse. Go to say something, but Sayori goes up to the bathroom before the words can leave my mouth. As I wait, I can't help but worry about if she checks my bedroom. Can't remember if I untied the towel from around my closet door. She walks in, she'll start to piece everything together. My heart beats frantically as the floorboards creak. The bedroom's right above the kitchen. To my relief, though, Sayori comes down not long after she had gone up. But still, we don't talk. Some time passes, but then Sayori looks toward me.
So, about tomorrow, are you
I'm going in. I give her a direct answer. Sayori raises her brow and seems to be a mix of confusion and concern. What is it now? You remember what's happening tomorrow, right?
Memorial? Yeah, I know. Mainly because you told me. Thought hasn't left my head. Sayori looks away from me. My right hand starts to shake. Can't keep hiding from what happened. I just gotta sit there for who knows how long listening to people singing Monika's praises and saying how much they'll miss her. Whilst most part of the audience couldn't give less than two shits about what she was going through. Who knows? Maybe those girls from her PE class would be there to crack some tasteless fucking jokes at her expense.
Zero, you're thinking about it all wrong.
Am I? Or do I just remember how cruel people in that school can be?
Are you listening to yourself right now?
I stand up from my chair and start to pace around the room. Even use my free hand to prevent the other one from shaking.
Do you remember how bad she got that day?
Were you even worried about what happened to her?
Of course I was worried. You don't just hear about one of your closest friends storming out of their class and not get worried.
Sayori's only raised her voice to me a few times in the past, but never with this much intensity. I lean against the kitchen counter. Sayori, you weren't having to stay up most nights worrying if her dad was going to beat her that night. You didn't have to spend a whole day wondering why she never called you back. And her mother didn't have to call you up to tell you that she killed herself. I feel tears starting to sting my eyes. I'm trying my best to keep my composure. I turn away from Sayori and look down at the counter, tightly shutting my eyes.
I know you're still upset about Monika. I'm still upset about Monika. It broke my heart when I first heard about what she was going through. That's why I'm trying to tell you not to come in tomorrow. Because I know that it would only make things worse.
I'm going in. I already said I'm not hiding from it anymore.
I'm just trying to protect...
Sayori, could you stop babying me every 5 fucking minutes? My voice cracks as I bang my fist against the counter. I turn to face her, tears streaking down my cheeks. Do you realize just how exhausting it all is? Everyone telling me how worried they are. You constantly checking my arms. Even waking up most days. I'm sick of it. As I continue to speak, my voice grows more and more shaky and my heart starts to beat more erratically. I don't mean to yell, but I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired. Once more, I turn from her and lean against the counter, this time hiding my eyes behind my palms. I could have lost my temper at anyone. But of course, it had to be Sayori. I feel her come up behind me and rest her hand on my shoulder. You should go.
I'm not leaving.
I move my hand to my eyes and look straight at her. As I speak, I'm barely holding back my tears. I'm not asking you. I'm fucking telling you. You should go. Please.
No, I'm not giving up on you.
Sayori pulls me into a tight embrace. It takes me a while to reciprocate her embrace. But I eventually do. As I cling to her, I press my mouth against her shoulder as I attempt to muffle my sobs. I feel Sayori run her hand through the hair on the back of my head.
We're all here for you. And no matter how hard it gets, we'll always be here.
Again, I know she cares. And aside from Monika not being here, that's the part that hurts. Sayori already has her own demons she's fighting. She doesn't need me to make things worse. Aside from my sobs, I'm silent. Eventually we release each other.
I hope you know I meant every word of that.
I wipe my eyes. I know, Sayo.
I know I said I didn't want you coming in tomorrow. And to be honest, I still don't. But if you do, would you mind if the girls and I walk to school with you?
As much as I want to say no, and give her one of the several possible excuses I could come up with, can't deny I would appreciate the company. Yeah, I think I'd like that. Through her tears, Sayori beams brightly. I scratch at the back of my neck. Also, I'm sorry for yelling at you.
It's fine. You did kind of scare me a little, though.
I look away a bit and blush faintly. I need to get a grip. I'm guessing you're gonna be going home now?
I was thinking about staying over for a bit. You know, like old times.
A slight smile forms across my lips. Nostalgia can be a sweet thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that. Oh, that's nice. That was a nice story. That was a nice little thing. Again, they mentioned Sayori's demons, but we don't get to hear about Sayori's demons.
It's not the main focus of the mod. We don't get to see him.
But yeah, no, it's still pretty good though. I like that. That was nice. I liked, you know, her sticking around. Chat was getting scared. They were like, "This isn't going where I think it's going." No, chat. I do not think they were going to ship Sayori and MC. Don't
I
worry.
wasn't even thinking that.
I was kind of. A little bit. I had like one thing I think I saw, and I was like, "Oh no," because I think I saw like I think then they said he just put it. I think when it said like something about her embracing him, I think it said something about his mouth. I was like, "Did he kiss her?" But then it said that it put it on his shoulder, on her shoulder, and to muffle his sobs. I'm like, okay, never mind, it's good. Same here, Zero. This is a wild card, man. Our chat's like, we're not. You never know where it could go.
What? You never know.
I was more scared they were gonna give Sarah a reason not to check up on him because he hurt her. Oh yeah, that would have also been annoying. Yeah, if he was like, go, and then she was like, wah, she ran away, and then it was like, oh no, what have I done? Yeah, they didn't go with that.
Created unnecessary conflict.
It's a Sayori mod now. Isn't this what you wanted? I never wanted this. I just said it would work better with Sayori. Not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
I didn't mean this.
Sayori stayed for the next few hours. Staying true to her word, she asked both Natsuki and Yuri if they wanted to walk with us tomorrow. Luckily for us, they were more than happy to. After she left, I went upstairs and was able to bring myself to untie the towel from the handle. I ended up dumping the towel back in the bathroom. As for now, I'm laying on my bed, looking up at the ceiling. The days seem to speed by. But then again, that's just weekends in general. As I try to relax, though, I can't help but think about the memorial tomorrow. I know I told Sayori that I'm fine coming in. A good chunk of me still is sure of that fact. I desperately want to move on from the pain of Monika being taken away from me. But there's just another part of me that's wondering if I'm trying to force myself to move on too soon. Feeling exhausted, I try to close my eyes and get some rest. The mod really tries to not mention Sayori's depression, but only brings it up when it gives her leverage over the situations. Like she's the harbinger of depression, and she knows how it feels like. But how do we know? The funny thing is, the mod doesn't even use it that to its advantage. Like I said, like I still don't think there's a scene where she talks to Monika about like being like I can relate or anything like that. Like they don't do any of like the mod just feels like it's like, oh yeah, I guess Monika and Sayori do both have depression, huh? Like, it doesn't. They don't do anything with it.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know, like it's weird. I'll say it's a missed opportunity. The side stories aren't canon in this mod, right? No, they are canon. I can't sleep. Like most nights, I just see her. I sit up on my bed and bury my head against my knees. Breathing heavily, my eyes look towards my cabinet. No. Not now. You've just barely gone 2 days without it. You can make a third. I force myself to look away, burying my face deeper against my knees. If I can't see it, I can't be tempted. Right? My eyes go on a constant back and forth between my bed and the cabinet. It lasts for what feels like a good few minutes until, eventually, they settle on the cabinet. My body takes control of itself once again as my arm reaches towards the top drawer. I open it and pull it out. I scan the sharp edge of the steel as I find myself face to face with my makeshift coping mechanism. My heart plummets. Sucking in the air through my teeth, I pressed the cold blade against my left wrist. Just one more time, Zero. One more time. I find myself in a dark hallway. I keep walking, but the hall is never ending. It's a recurring dream I've been having. It's one I can't control no matter how much I try. I know whose house I'm in. Much like every time I've had this dream, I keep walking, trying every door to no avail. Eventually, though, I come across the door I always do. One with a slightly bloody doorknob. That's her door. I grip it tightly, taking in a deep breath. I gently open the... I'm forced awake by the sound of my alarm. Thankfully so. I need to see that sight again. I check my phone. 6:30 a.m. Please stop the alarm! I'm actually surprised I managed to fucking... Oh my god! Oh my lord. Jesus. Why? Why would they have the alarm go on for 6 lines? It's like, my god. Like, why would you have the alarm go for 6 lines? I'm actually surprised I managed to wake up on time. Past few times I've used an alarm, I've just slept through it. Maybe it's because I know the girls are going to be waiting for me. Maybe it's because of that. Whatever it is, the point is, I'm awake. I get up and fetch my uniform from the closet, silencing my alarm as I do so. Before I get my shirt on, though, I look at both my arms with deep regret. I was doing so well. There are some bandages downstairs. I can use them. Taking the rest of my uniform with me, I head to the kitchen. I rest my shirt, blazer, and tie on the table before I start to search for the bandages. Check every shelf and cupboard until I eventually find them. I carefully wrap them over the wounds. My uniform should be enough to hide them. At least I hope so. As I'm buttoning up my shirt, there's a knock at the door. I unlock the door and open it to see Natsuki and Mamoru standing there. They both share a similar look of concern as they look at me. Considering everything that's happened, coupled with my general lack of contact with anyone outside of Sayori and Mom, I can't say I'm surprised. Hey, you two. Hey, you doing okay? I nod. Yeah, I'm fine. Just woke up not too long ago. I don't tell either of them about my dream or what I'd done the night before. Then turned to Mamoru and smiled nervously. Been a while, hasn't it? It has. I'm glad you're doing alright. Zero. Stop fucking lying. How's your mom been doing? She's been okay. Still quite annoyed about having to go on the trip, but still okay nonetheless. Maru nods. He then turns to Natsuki. I'll be off now. You've got your keys, right? Natsuki takes her house keys from her pocket to show Mamoru. You gonna be back normal time? I should be, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you when I'm back. Mamoru waves to me before heading out. As soon as I hear the car leaving, I speak. Quite surprised he came with you. He cares about you too, you know. No, I know that. Just meant I thought he would have been at work already. I mean, he would have just walked down, but Dad woke up a little later than usual. Well, I would have just walked down, but Dad woke up a little later than usual. So I just decided, screw it, and asked him to drop me off. She smiles cheerfully, contrasting with her earlier display of worry. Knowing Natsuki, though, it's still on her mind. I then head to the kitchen to fetch my blazer and bag, immediately heading back to Natsuki after I do. What do you want to do before Sayori and Yuri get here? To be honest, I didn't really think about that. I just kind of assumed Sayori would have been here before me. I checked my phone for the time. 6:58 a.m. Sayori should be up by now. As the phone cue, there's then a knock. Once more, I open the door. Morning, Zero! Zuri's cheer radiates across the room. Yuri smiles warmly in my direction. Considering what's happening today, it is a bit strange seeing their smiles. My best guess is they're trying to remain positive. Morning. It's great to see you both. Anyways, we gonna get going?
I know we would be considerably early, but I personally wouldn't mind having a slower walk. If that's okay with everyone.
I mean, I don't mind. You too? I look toward both Natsuki and Sayori.
I wouldn't mind that.
Natsuki nods in agreement. 4 of us then walk out. We initially start walking in a group, but I soon end up merely trailing behind them. I end up looking towards the ground. I know they're trying their best to remain optimistic, but I can't. No matter how hard I try to move forward, my mind just ends up taking several steps back. You can't move on. You never will. Look back up to the 3 girls. You can't keep dragging them along with you. I stop my tracks and raise my hand to my head. A painful, irritating migraine shoots through the side of my head. My breathing grows heavy as I stand. Eventually, though, I'm pulled back into reality by a hand gently grabbing hold of my bicep. I look to my side and see Yuri standing there, her cheeks rosy and her expression one of worry.
Are you alright, Zero?
Seeing Yuri this close slightly flusters me. It's nothing. It's just a slight headache. My eyes dart forward to see Natsuki and Sayori way ahead of us. Just how long had I been spacing out? Yuri gently smiles towards the other girls and gestures towards them, presumably to tell them to carry on. I then see them keep walking until they turn a corner.
Would you like to walk together?
Considering how close she is, I don't think I have much of an option. Plus, I didn't really talk to her at the funeral. I mean, I'm probably gonna be awful company, but I wouldn't mind. The pair of us start to walk in silence. There's this feeling of awkwardness. Can't tell if it's because of how close she is, the small glances she makes in my direction, or something else. Knowing me, though, it's probably my mind making things worse than they seem. Not probably. That's exactly it. After the silence lasts a little longer, Yuri starts to softly speak up.
So, I know we didn't talk much on Saturday. So I just wanted to ask how you've been.
I already know the answer to that question, but it's something I can't bring myself to admit. I've been fine. Well, not completely fine. I did cry a little and I threw up a bit yesterday. Besides that, I'm fine.
I have to say, I didn't expect you to come in today.
I was gonna have to come back at some point. I can't stay cooped up at home forever. And I certainly can't keep hiding from what happened. It's only after I've said that when I start to notice Yuri getting a little uncomfortable by my unknowingly harsh tone. Sorry, I didn't...
You don't have to apologize. I can imagine it's still quite difficult. Like, dealing with all of this.
I exhale. I remember Yuri saying that if I wanted to, I could talk to her about anything that was bothering me. Of course, that was before Monika. Surely the offer would still stand, right? It is difficult. You ever wake up in the middle of the night because it feels like someone's there only to realize you're alone? She wordlessly fumbles with a strand of her hair.
Once or twice. But that was a while ago. Not that I'm trying to compare what you're going through to a silly little fantasy of mine. I just...
Yuri, it's fine. But that's how it feels most nights. I still feel Monika's presence more than I'd like to admit. And sometimes it's hard to tell whether or not that's a good thing. My breathing is slowly building speed once again.
You loved her, Zero. Of course she'll be on your mind. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about what happened.
A warm, comforting smile then comes over Yuri's face as she gently squeezes my hand.
Never forget that I'm here for you, Zero. We're all here for you.
The look in her eyes, that smile and her grip on my hand reminds me of how Monika used to be with me. Could she be trying to... No, you idiot. Just being nice. Heart's beating like it wants to burst out of my chest. It then seems that Yuri realizes what she was doing.
Sorry, they didn't mean to...
Releases my hand and shrinks into herself. I will tell her it's okay, but I'm honestly speechless. I simply nod, and we continue to walk to school in a tense, awkward silence. And you know what? Boom. Your guys are going to get cliffhangered. We're stopping there.
Already? Wait, how long has it been?
It's actually been like an hour 30.
Oh.
We've had less pauses during this, so we've made way more progress than we probably ever have than before, because we have actually paused not as much as we used to.
Okay.
We actually made a lot more progress than we usually did, honestly. But yeah, things are getting pretty though there is something I was kind of noticing while reading. It's something I don't know how I feel about this or not. So I don't know if anybody agrees with me. So at first I kind of took it as the girls just trying to, you know, keep it, because they mentioned the girls just trying to keep a positive atmosphere. But I don't know. I feel like there's kind of not too much reactions to Monika's death from the girls. Like, maybe...
I just think that they're coping with it in their own way, like, silently,
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. They knew Monika longer than he did. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, because, again, if we're going off of... I feel... This is another problem, I think. This is the... Add this to the list of problems by within's issues by having with the side stories be canon. Because, again, if this game just worked off base game, like, literature, like DDLC, then you can make the argument that they all didn't know each other for that long. You know, we already don't know how long they've been there. But this game uses the side stories as canon. So with that, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they could be a little bit more like affected. Obviously, like we said, could be putting on strong faces for him. But I don't know. There's times where I'm like, I feel like they don't seem super affected. Like, I'm not saying they gotta be full on like bawling, but like, I don't know, man. It feels like there should be a little bit more, I think. Like, I understand the whole they are being strong for him, trying to be strong for him, because he's definitely going through the worst of it. But a lot of it feels like it's coming on too strongly to where it almost looks like they don't even have a like, they're not even affected. Like, it's just a little weird. Yeah, like, realistically, they should also be a wreck. Yeah, I agree with Pastel. That's what they say. They should be a wreck, too, realistically. That's been breaking my mind. How are the side stories canon? There's nothing that's happened at this point has shown anything. Well, yeah, that's the weird part. The side stories are only canon in the sense that they just say the events happen, but a lot of the time, like, problems I had before, they don't really use the side story. Like, they do things that makes you kind of feel like they should probably ignore the side story's existence. Like, it's a little odd. Like I said, I don't know. It's just something I feel like they should, like, I feel like the girls reacting to this, they should have a little bit more of a strong reaction. Especially considering, as I mentioned, they knew Monika for way longer than MC knew Monika. Like, hell, even someone like Sayori, this would probably affect her depression, as we've mentioned before. With the mod, you know, now, like, if anything, I feel like Sayori would feel extremely guilty. Saying things, you know, like, fucking, she would probably have been affected by MC's words of him saying that she didn't, that, you know, it's like, where were you, Sayori? Did you even care? Like, I feel like that would have really affected someone like her. Like, hearing words like that? Like, I feel like that would have as much as we said, like, we didn't want her to say that to MC, and then he, like, you know, she runs off being sad, and then maybe he kills himself. As much as we didn't want that to happen, I still feel like that would definitely affect her. Like, she is really strong for somebody who's supposed to have depression.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's a little odd, honestly. That's probably my only real issue with this act so far, funnily enough. Like, so far, this act is probably one of the strongest acts throughout the entire mod. Like, my only issue I think I could really say with this act is that I feel like the girls should react a little bit more to Monika's death. I feel like they should be a little more hurt But other than that, this has been pretty strong for the most part. I think the only other nitpick was the Sayori not fully knowing how to handle somebody. I think like we mentioned earlier, somebody who wants to be left alone while coping. And was the mom thing. The mom just leaving him alone felt a little silly on her part.
Yeah.
And there was something else. Yuri's reasoning for not going after MC. Man, but other than those I just feel like were nitpicks. I guess the writer just focused on MC's situation. They didn't do much with the girls and literally just there as floating husks for MC to soundboard off of. They're like not fully floating husks because they do act like themselves. That's the thing. They have their personalities in check. It's just they're not affected. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like husks is a little too far of a. I feel like a husk is a little too far, but is a little too, like, taking it a little too far. Because they're not husks. They are Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri. It's just, they're Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri that don't really feel like they even know that Monika's dead. Like, you know?
Yeah.
like that's the thing. I got scared when the mod said that, man, Sayori should be here by now. Because I thought the mod was going there. I thought the mod was going to have her kill herself. But I don't know, like I said, that was really only my issue so far, is that I feel like the girls should react a little more strongly towards this whole situation. But other than that, this act's pretty strong. It's MC trying to deal with it. I like the introduction of him cutting himself. I feel like it's, you know, it's definitely something that's like, it could happen, so it's a little upsetting.
Yeah.
But yeah. It would be fine if the side stories are referenced to just being used as plot points, if it makes sense. I feel like the side stories shouldn't be referenced at all, you know? Like I said, like, because if you reference them, then that then also leads people to believe they're canon. So it's like, I think you could do references in the sense that things that never actually happen in the story. But yeah, because like I said, yeah, the side stories definitely mess up a lot of the feelings that the mod is supposed to convey with certain things. Yeah, it definitely feels like a lot of things would be stronger without the side stories being canon in this instance. But anyway, that is it. If you want to download this mod for yourself, the link's in the description below. And yeah, this has been Zero. Peace.
Bye.